Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Saints stream. We have a huge matchup on our hands today. It's NACE Premier League here, and it's going to be Maryville taking on a St. Clair in a League of Legends. How are you feeling today, Dominic?
I'm feeling a bit nervous, especially since I've heard a lot of the scores. I don't know much on League, sadly, since I don't play that much. I know a small bit of knowledge, but it's going to be really interesting to learn. Speaking that this is like one of the very few another broadcasts I've done. Speaking that I'm a new guy, but I'm Dominic Green, also known as Shade.
Yeah, Dominic, it's going to be a huge game today. Maryville seen as one of the very top elite teams in League of Legends, and St. Clair, they're up there as well. They have a 1-1 record. Maryville 2-0 on the season. What are you expecting from the game today?
I'm expecting to see some pretty decent lineups. Speaking that, from what I hear, Maryville being undefeated so far, and St. Clair's being 1-1. It's going to be really interesting to see the lineups. Speaking that again, I don't know much on the heroes, but I'm hearing there's some pretty solid picks between Maryville and St. Clair's.
Absolutely. Let's take a look at our starting lineup. As you were saying, in the top lane, it's going to be Sama Jungle, going to be Maddie Flocon in the mid lane, Lig and Miracle going to be making up that bot lane. Pretty standard roster for the Saints. They've been playing with this roster to begin the season, and 1-1, pretty solid start. Not the worst, not the best. They're going to need a lot of work to be Maryville here in this series. What do you think is one key as a coach, even if you don't know League of Legends? What's one thing you tell your team when you're a big underdog going into a very tough matchup?
I honestly would say stay calm, stay focused, and try to play it strategic because I hear League is a very strategic game. You have to play it smart. You can't just rush in like other games that I've played where I rush in head first.
Yeah, absolutely. And against a stronger team, maybe there's some pocket picks or some secret tech that they want to pull out. Would you like to see the Saints do something of that variety?
Definitely. Speaking that Maryville is undefeated so far, they're probably feeling very confident in their game, so it's going to be rough. But if St. Clair's have been watching their games, maybe they found some sort of loop they can use against them and found a weak point because League, from what I know, finding those weak points against your opponents is going to be very beneficial for making those plays that you need.
Absolutely, you could not be more correct with that point. I definitely expect to see some interesting picks coming out from the Saints. I was talking to their head coach Alonso before the stream, before their games, and they look like they have their draft kind of made up. Obviously, I won't say it just yet. We'll see if it comes into fruition, but it is a fearless draft, which means after a character has been picked, it cannot be picked for the rest of the series. It's a bit of a newer format in League of Legends, which makes more unique characters been seen in a series. What do you think that's a good change for a game?
Um, it's a bit new to me when it comes to picking only one character for the entire series and then you have to move because I feel like they might try to go with their best characters, and if they're going with their best characters and they don't have that for the finals, it might cost them. So they might have to play a lot of the weaker units first and save their best, stronger units for it. What might cost them because Maryville could possibly know how to use the 90% of the characters.
Yeah, absolutely. League of Legends, a huge game, over 150 characters, I believe, and it's basically impossible to master them all. So maybe Saints have a couple picks that they've mastered that they will surprise Maryville with. Maybe something Maryville doesn't see too much. Maybe something like a Lilia or a Nunu, something that's never seen, but the Saints have really practiced. I think pulling out something like that against a very strong team in Maryville would be more beneficial than playing the meta that Maryville has perfected and beaten basically every team with. What do you think of that?
I wouldn't be surprised, but if anything would surprise me, I heard there's this really not that good character. I believe it's called Master Yu. I'd
Master
be
Yi.
surprised if one of them decided to use it just to throw off Maryville, and Maryville takes advantage of it and trying to think it's a weak link, but it turns out like, for example, St. Clair's, if they use it, it's like one of their units that they're the best with.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, last week I was talking to our play. This weekend actually, they played last Saturday. I casted one of their matches against University of Toronto, and there was a player in University of Toronto that was prolific with Master Yi. Even though he's not seen as a very strong character, the Saints were so scared of it they actually ended up banning it for every single game. So they knew their secrets. The Saints do really good research, and they're gonna know a lot about their opponents. I know Alonso does a lot of work behind the scenes. He really studies their opponents well. So I definitely believe the Saints are going to have a good game plan. Maryville, obviously, a very strong macro team. They move around the map flawlessly. That's their biggest strength. They have a lot of experience on their hands. But the Saints, with some newer additions to the roster, they're very mechanically gifted. And it's going to be very interesting to see if they can maybe outplay some of that macro with their pure mechanics. But we're going to be going straight into our draft. St. Clair will be on the blue side. Maryville gonna be on the red side.
Um. Oh, I forgot her name, but
Ambessa.
yeah. Sorry about that. I forgot the character's name, but I believe she's been banned. I think the bottom means banning. Yeah. That's actually a solid pick because I hear she's a really strong unit in the game and deals a lot of damage.
Yeah, she is in fact a strong character. Saints don't want to see that there. They're gonna ban that one out. Looks like Maryville did do some research. Nunu ban. That's not something you would normally see, but Maddie very good on the Nunu, so Maryville does not want to see that. St. Clair banning out the Corki after that. A very strong flex pick that can be picked both bot and mid lane. Saints don't want to see that. Maryville gonna answer with a Vi ban. And then Swain, this was a ban I was expecting. I spoke to Alonso. He said one of Maryville's players is very, very good on the Swain mid. So they don't want to see that. And then the Darius could be banned from Sama. He played it this weekend in their matchup in game 3, and he had an amazing performance on it. Was absolutely destroying his competition. So Maryville gonna ban down now. It's gonna be Casante with the first pick for the Saints here.
I'm really interested to see how this goes, especially hearing that they are going for a lot of their strong units. So I guess your gut instinct was right. St. Clair's has done their research, and using Jace, I hear he's a pretty solid unit. I'm just interested to see also the skins they use because I heard a lot of the arcane skins have made it their way into the game. For example, on Vi, and honestly, I know Vi. I've used her a few times. The last time I played League, and she's a pretty decent like unit to use. And Jin Zhao, is that how you pronounce it?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't really see him that much in competitive mode when I was watching. So this is going to be interested to see how St. Clair plays.
Yeah, Zinzao and Callista gonna be picked up on Saints' second and third picks. It's gonna be answered with Misfortune Leona, a very very strong bot lane. Leona, one of the best supports in the game, has so much CC, makes the game so hard to play, and it's a great pick into a lot of champions. And second round of bans, it's gonna be the Renata Glosk banned here by Maryville. Saints gonna ban out the Skarner, very strong jungler, and then the Nico ban from Maryville. It's not something we really see the Saints pick up that often, but the ban is there. They definitely don't want to play against it this game. Syndra gonna get banned out by St. Clair there. Looks like Aurora is gonna be blinded in the mid lane. And let's see what the Saints decide to respond with. It looks like the Victor is going to be the choice of character for Flocon here. And Rel going to be last picked here by the Saints. Maryville need to round out their composition with a jungler. Let's see what they go for. Looks like Wukong will be the play. No, it's going to be an Amumu. I don't know how good of a pick Amumu is here. They might need a bit more AD, but they're going to lock it in. They're going to prefer CC and tankiness over damage. I mean, I don't hate the pick of Amumu here, but it means Maryville is very one-dimensional. If they go in, there's no backing out. That's how this Amumu champion works. So it's going to be very important for this Amumu to, I think, just play off Leona's engages. Let Leona ult somebody, Amumu Q onto them, try and ult a couple members, and just have the pure team fight there.
Yeah, and I don't see many Amumu, which surprises me. I agree with you. It is very weird to see. I've seen some top players use him very carefully, but with Liana, of course, because again, like you said. But I think what Maryville is trying to do with this is try to provide more tankiness to the team. Because if they have more tank, they can rush the turns. Because the turns do a lot of damage. So you waiting for those little guys, yours, or as I like to call them, little minions, run in, tank the damage while they're being the tank if they're getting attacked, but they can take out those crystals while taking the damage and getting the buffs that they need from those two supports. It might be very good.
Yeah, definitely a lot of CC for the Saints here, and I'm liking their composition. I mean, they have a bit of range. Obviously, playing against Jace is a good amount of damage, but there's a bit of poke on both teams. There's a lot of CC on both teams, and I think in the team fights, it's going to be very interesting. I think solo laning is going to be really important. If Flocon and Sama can get ahead or stay even with their laners, the game will be easier for the Saints. But with the solo lanes of Maryville, I definitely expect them to have prio early into the game. So it's going to be interesting to see what side of the map each team decides to play for. And, we're going to throw it to a very quick break, and we'll be right back with the beginning of the first game. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are just about to get underway with a game one. It's St. Clair Saints taking on Maryville. Uh, gonna be an interesting match here, Dominic. I mean, if you have to put in some quick predictions before the match starts off, hit me with them.
Honestly, my gut feeling is going towards Maryville, but I'm not counting out Saints yet. But with Maryville being undefeated, what they could be doing is trying to weaken down the Saints, trying to make them feel confident, and then just absolutely start destroying them in this competition, which is going to be interesting to see, honestly, and honestly fun to watch. But I do not know how this is going. But my predictions on Maryville.
I mean, it's a very fair prediction. Maryville, one of the top teams. Let's go through their roster real quick. Toasty Alex, top lane Aurora. The Jace is going to be flexed mid. Shimmer on the Mumu in the jungle. And Sajet alongside Derrot Baron in the bot lane on the Leona. And for us, we have Sama top, Maddie in the jungle on the Zinzao, Flocon in the mid lane on the Victor, and then Lig Miracle in the bot lane, playing the Callista Rill bot lane. A very strong bot lane, but let's see. What we've seen a lot from the Saints has been lane swaps. They've played it relatively well as of late, but actually, for a rare instance in competitive League of Legends, we're not going to see a lane swap, and we're going to just see the ball laners and the top laners just brawl it out.
That should be fun to watch, especially with it. But it looks like I said, waiting for the minions to come in to get close to the crystal, because that crystal, like I said, is devastating to deal with. And I see what you mean by they're sacrificing damage for tank, but again, that's actually not a bad idea. And it looks like Maryville seems to back off a lot with it because they know they lack the damage, which is very devastating for them because they don't have many good damagers. But again, I'm interested to see how this Mumu plays because I don't see many Mumu plays.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to say the least. All lanes going relatively even to start. Nothing too crazy yet, no summoners used by either side. It looks like both junglers will be pathing towards the top side of the map, so Sama and Toasty Alex have to be careful not to play too aggressive as both junglers will be in the vicinity. Flocon, obviously very good mechanical player on this Victor, usually a player that does very well in the early to mid game. And it's going to be a strong pick the later the game goes, but it looks like there is a pause, maybe some technical or mechanical difficulties, but nothing too crazy to start off the game. A pretty peaceful start. What do you think during the pause? What do you think the players are thinking?
I'm feeling like they're both got a bit of cold hands at the moment because they seem to be not going very at it at the moment, which isn't a bad idea. I've made mistakes trying to rush in headfirst, first time experiencing the PC version of League of Legends. Speaking that, I'm a mobile player with it, but it's definitely interesting to see. I think from there might have been a PC crash, maybe. That's something in my gut, but I feel like they're going with cold hands at the moment. They're like trying to warm up, kind of measure each other out, and be like, all right, what's my next move? How am I gonna go with this? Because it seems they're separating, which is the thing. One was going middle lane while we had both two going out into the top lane and the bottom lane.
Yeah, absolutely. Uh, pretty slow start. I mean, it's a long game, obviously, with the newer objective Otacon being added. Baron Nashor now spawns at 25 minutes instead of 20, so sometimes it takes teams a little bit longer uh, to end the game. The games usually last longer, and from the look of things, players are staying warm. I don't think they're playing just yet. Someone's clicking random keys that you would never click during League of Legends game, in my opinion. So I don't know what they're doing for sure. Maybe they're getting back into game very soon. But you can see they're staying warm and making sure that they're ready to get back into game.
That's definitely true, but it looks like they're a little bit locked in with it. They look like they're ready to go and try to win this, especially with it. But I'm noticing, yeah, a lot of them seem to be pressing the buttons just to keep their fingers moving on the specific keys they were noticing. Because I'm thinking, if I'm pretty sure you can map out certain buttons, can you not in that game?
Yeah, there's combos.
Yeah. So like they're probably trying to get used to pressing the keys they need to hit to get those combos in. For example, if for a character that had a chain, uh, pulls a chain close and then hits a sword slash and then into like a spinning move, and get those combos in so they can level up. And I'm noticing a lot of them quickly leveled up to level 2 by targeting the little minions, which is very smart because I'm pretty sure levels play a huge factor in this game because I think if you're a higher level than the other player, you deal more damage to them. Do you not?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the higher level you are, the more gold you have, the stronger you become as a character. And in a game like League of Legends, the very small things at the highest level are the things that matter the most. The little experience you might have got or miss here, the little gold you miss by not getting plates, small things like that do add up big in League of Legends. But the thing that matters the most is destroying the Nexus. So it's definitely important for both teams to keep in many strategies. You could play around grubs around the top side of the map. You could play around dragons and bottom side of the map. It's just on stylistic choices. It matters about your champions. This game, I would definitely not be surprised if it's Maryville playing around the grubs. They have the Aurora up in the top lane, and she's just such a strong lane bully that they'll have Prio in that lane. They should be able to rotate over to the grubs, and the Saints should have some struggles contesting it. But if Saints decide to move their bot lane up to the top lane around the grub spawn, I think that's the only chance the Saints have really to contest anything.
That's definitely true because the last time I watched Maryville, they definitely played. They're playing very similar to their first game that I watched. They don't seem to switch up their strategy that much from the looks of it, except with the units. They play the same formations with those because they know what lanes they're best in, which formations they're best in. It's just character wise. It seems they've changed up their style instead of playing a lot of, because I'm pretty sure a lot of them played a lot more of the DPS characters very first time I watched them. Now they're playing more tanky, and I noticed that both teams were saving their gold, which is very smart to save the gold because I'm pretty sure the more gold you have, the better the upgrades you can buy. So your character's stronger, you can deal more damage and level up faster. Can you not?
Yeah, absolutely. The more gold, the better. That means you can buy full items, half items, even components could make you a lot stronger. And there's many components for cheap, for not too cheap, for like 1,000 gold that make you a lot stronger in the early game than your opponent. And it's definitely going to be interesting if anyone can get ahead, who can really carry. I mean, both ADCs here, very strong carry ADCs. Misfortune, Amumu, it's a classic combo. You press ult with Amumu, you press ult with Misfortune. The bullet time can wipe out the whole team, but that's kind of the only big playmaking thing they have. If that Misfortune dies early or doesn't get the ult off, it's not going to be combo. Same thing with Amumu. If Amumu hits only one person and they blow two ultimates on one person, it could backfire. So Maryville playing a pretty risky strategy. Like there's definitely a lot of skill involved in it, and it's going to be Saints who need to outplay them in the team fights to give themselves a chance in this game. But we're going to throw it to a very quick break. We have some technical issues, so we'll be right back when the players are ready to get back into game. Welcome back, everybody. We had a bit of an unfortunate sequence of events, but everything is back to normal now. Saints losing the early game here. Maryville have 10 kills to the Saints 4, and the one dragon is going to help out as well. But I believe the Saints have some objectives of their own. I believe that's 3 plates for them, which is not too bad gold-wise. They are down a couple thousand here, and it's this Misfortune who's really fed. 5-1 has the Bloodthirster leg, struggling on the Callista. 1-3 in Miracle, having a rough time as well. 0-4 on the Rel. Seems like a lot of fighting between the ball lanes, but Maryville has been able to get the better of them in the early parts of the game.
That's definitely true, and it's really interesting to see. But my gut feeling, something was telling me was right, because it looks like Mumu and Leona is being a huge benefactor to their team. It seems that they know what they're doing. Maybe Saints should have banned those two, knowing that those two are really good supports, especially Leona. Leonida?
Leona.
Leona, thank you. I always butcher her name when it comes to that character because her name throws me off with the spelling. But it's definitely interesting to think about, and it looks like I can't tell exactly who on the bottom is, but one of a lot of Saints, it looks like 2 of them have been just dying while there's only 3 members getting the kills, unlike Maryville, who has a player that's doing 7 assists. That's probably the Mumu, probably getting the assists.
Yeah, Mumu's helping out. Rel has the 7 assists. And yeah, it seems just like a bit stronger of a ball lane here for the side of Maryville. Saints were able to secure the first 3 grubs, so the team split the grubs 3-3. Maddie, the only member on the Saints with an item on the Zinzao. The rest of the team struggling to get gold. As you know, Maryville don't have too much gold themselves. The Amumu has the Leandris and the Bloodthirsters on that Misfortune. And she has her barrier, no flash. Saints have a bit of a window here to look for a team fight. It looks like Maryville, they're gonna fully give this one. They're just gonna settle with getting some plates in the top lane and some tower damage in the mid lane. So a good play from the Saints. Down gold, down kills. They go for a proactive play, taking the dragon. They're gonna lose some gold around the map, but with this one dragon, they can stall the game a little bit longer.
That's definitely true. I'm pretty sure if you had killed the monsters that spawn on the stage, you get buffs, if I'm correct. I forget what the Drake's buff is, but I'm pretty sure it's a damage booster. I'm pretty sure. From what I've seen, you deal more damage, but again, Maryville taking advantage of just letting them go for the Drakes, and it looks like the Saints' turrets and crystals are very low, which could be very bad for them, speaking that Maryville is just taking full advantage of all the buffs they're getting and using the tank to their advantage. They know they can't deal any damage, but they know they can tank, which is very good in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. And now we're going to see some more items coming online. Leandris for the Aurora. Jace going to have that Yomu's a big spike. Saints definitely don't want to pick any fights right now, as both Lig and Flocon are yet to pick up an item. Looks like Flocon is just going to ult this wave. He wants to back for that item and get it very quickly. And the Jace was forced to flash in this little bot lane skirmish. We didn't catch all of it, but it's good for the Saints. Sama going to get it flashed on a top lane here, but can he really do much against the Aurora? She's just too quick. A wasted flash there for Sama, trying to make a play, but Maryville just a little bit too good.
That is definitely true, and it's kind of sad because I'm kind of rooting for the Saints to win, but honestly, if Maryville keeps this up, it might just be a 2-0 victory. I'm hoping that's not the case, but it's going to be really, and it looks like I couldn't tell who that was. I was trying to channeling, but he canceled it, which surprises me because it's looking like Saints don't really have many equipment on, while Maryville has taken full advantage, and almost the entire team is filled with equipment just for buffs and damage and more tank. And they're probably using, maybe they pick those characters to counter certain things that the Saints are using, which is very smart. Certain characters are taking it, and Mudo getting the slain, but he was shut down, which is kind of sad.
Yeah, it's a good dive there by Maryville, but a good answer from Maddie to pick up the 1-for-1. Now it's going to be Flocon, who has a Dark Seal stack after that fight. A little cheeky purchase there. And is going to have that Blackfire Torch. Saints getting some of their item power spikes online. Callista going to have that Blade of the Ruined King. Cassante has his Chemtech item and has the boost, but nice ultimate by Lig. Pushing Miracle back in, though a very aggressive play. Might have got himself and his support killed. If he can get the kill on the Amumu, though, it is a good trade. No, he's not able to get it 1 HP. Great play there by Maryville to take advantage of the Saints' aggression.
That's definitely true, but I'm pretty sure you have to take care of the turrets, right? And the crystals are after the turrets.
Yeah.
That's okay. That makes a lot of sense. I was thrown off because a lot of the times it's just the crystals there that deal the damage, not the turrets. So that's another thing that throws me off compared to the mobile version, of which I'm probably going to make a lot of comparisons from my experience between the two. There's a lot of differences, including in team comps and how to play. While in this game, you're dealing with more equipment. The mobile version, you don't have to worry that much. You just have to get your levels. You don't have to get much of equipment. You don't have to get much of the pickups. And it looks like Maryville is leading in kills by 7 for a 12 to 5. So they've pretty much beaten St. Clair's Saints in it. And it looks like there's a good team fight going on between I can't pronounce that name.
Yeah, big team fight. Leona going to be the first one to fall. The Amumu doesn't have the ultimate, has another kill to his name. Callista going to be falling down as well. The TP from Aurora is very aggressive, but Saints don't have a lot of damage left. The Victor needs to come into this team fight. Flocon trying to do all he can, ult on the Misfortune, but is not able to take her down. It's a 2-for-1 at the moment for Maryville. Another successful fight, but nice stun there by Sama. The Mumu Q's in. A very dangerous play there. Will fall down to Flocon. That's a huge kill for the Victor, and they're looking to dive this Misfortune. She barriers absolutely nothing. Sama gonna strike her down. A great fight from the Saints, even though they're down in gold.
That's definitely true, and it looks like Saints might be the one taking out the first turn. And yeah, I was correct. Blue team has destroyed the first turn, which could be very beneficial. 8 to 14 again. Maryville in the lead. The rounds are only 25 minutes, so wait, no, not 25 minutes. I'm like I heard
Until the game ends.
yeah, until the game ends. But I know certain ones
Another
I've
kill.
seen have only set time limits because of how long these rounds could last. So sometimes they'll just have it end at like most kills from what I've seen. That comes for a lot of local tournaments that I've gone to though. But it's already reached 17 minutes and I'm not seeing any push towards the crystals, surprisingly. And Saints have a good advantage to push middle lane. Maybe they should take advantage of it and try to get a lot of their units on middle lane. Maybe like 2 guys to get in. And there's a good team fight going on.
Yeah, great team fight. Callista gonna get taken down. Down goes the Rel. Maryville catch Saints sleeping with that Amumu Misfortune combo. It's a great team fight for them. They're gonna get the gold lead expanded, and looks like they're gonna take the dragon for themselves. Yeah, they're gonna take the dragon for themselves. Now they're gonna have a couple dragons to play with, and Flocon gonna fall down in the bot lane. Not sure how that happens to a solo Jace, but that's a big kill for Maryville. It's gonna slow down Saints' tempo even more.
That is very devastating for them because there was a good team fight going on for that. It seems they were fighting for it, but the Dragon seemed to queue in and just attack them all, but it was more focused towards the Saints. I think that was very smart on Maryville, using the boss to their advantage to take care of the enemy team so that they could take advantage. Have Saints weaken them, take the buffs for themselves, which is very smart. And it looks like there's some channeling going on. They might be going back to buy some more equipment, which isn't surprising. And it looks like the Saints have finally decided to pick up more equipment and get prepared, while Maryville is getting prepared and being more strategic with their plays. But the Mumu has blown me out of the waters. They're playing very strategic with Mumu. I don't see many good Mumu plays, unlike Maryville.
Yeah, great play by this Amumu so far, and a great job by all of Maryville here. They're having a very good game for themselves, and they've been able to play around their bot lane where the Saints have struggled a good amount in this game. The balling for the Saints is 2 and 12 at the moment, and on the flip side, it is Maryville's balling that is doing a lot better. They have 12 assists on their support. As we have a little replay of the team fight, you can see the Amumu goes in onto Lig. They pop the Misfortune ultimate, and the fight was as short as it could be. Perfect play by Maryville, but we're right back into the things. Leona gonna be engaged on here by the Saints. Do they have the damage to take her down? She's gonna go in on the backline, but that's gonna be the first kill. A huge ult on by Amumu onto 3, but the Misfortune can't follow up too much. They find the Amumu in the mid lane, but they're so low on the health bars here. Saints have to get out. This Jace is gonna be so scary. There's a double kill for the Misfortune. Sama in a lot of trouble here. They're gonna look to go in on the Jace, who just blows them up, finds a double kill. It's only Victor left alive. Aurora trying to find that kill. Flocon will live for a little bit, but will have to probably give up some space on this turret as Maryville looking to blow the game wide open.
That was amazing play by Maryville, which I was not expecting, but that was a good team fight on the Clair's thing, trying to take care of that Jace, because I think they figured out Jace as being the strong unit of their thing, and the objective bounties are available soon. I forget what they do exactly. I'm pretty sure they provide more gold, but at this point, if they can, and it looks like, how do you pronounce the pirate girl's name again? Like the one that was with the guns? How do you say her name?
Misfortune.
Yeah, Misfortune, thank you. Push the Maryville with Misfortune, decided to push all of them, lower them, while the other team of Maryville ran in, got the damage, and it really cost Saints. They got a bit too comfortable and a bit too cocky taking care of the Mumu.
Yeah, absolutely. The fight was just great from Maryville there. Now they're Jace on 3 items, Misfortune on 3 items. Neither of the Saints carries even have 2, and Lig gonna get caught out yet again. Will try and flash out this time, but Leona, does she have another CC? She does not. Lig able to survive, but forced to burn his flash for practically no reason there. Another great play by Maryville, but let's see a great play from them before. You can see the Leona gets suicided. The Amumu ultimate hits onto 3. The Misfortune ult goes off for most of its duration. Now Saints get a couple kills, but look at their health bars. The Misfortune and Jace do so much damage on the chase here, and Saints have to run for their lives. They try and turn it onto Jace, but he just annihilates Maddie, and Sama is quick to follow. Picture perfect play there by Maryville.
That was very smart, and I think Maryville knew Saints would rush the Jace, so the Jace was prepared for it. Because if you notice, as soon as the Saints got close, that's when they hit the Jace melee, which that Jace melee, from what I've seen, is very devastating. And we got a 2-on-1 from Miracle and Lynn, and oh, that was surprising, which that confuses me. What was Maryville thinking with that?
I'm not sure, but there's another huge Amumu ult onto 3 members, but the Saints don't seem to care without the Misfortune to ult them afterwards, and their Aurora being in the top lane. I'm surprised Maryville are making these kind of plays. I mean, the Aurora will pick up that tier 2 in the top lane, which is a huge amount of gold, but it's going to be a free Autocon here for the side of the Saints. It looks like Maryville, though, want to contest. Aurora going to TP in behind the Saints. I think they have no idea that she's here. Look at that Jace damage. Miracle has to be careful. Aurora is on the flank. Kalista, why is she in the enemy team's backline alone? How does this happen? Lig going to be falling down as Miracle is the next to fall, and Saints all over the place. Try and find some kills back, but it's going to be Maryville with a perfectly played team fight. Yet again, the Jace is now completely massive. The Autocon going to be going over to Maryville as well as the next Dragon. Maryville put themselves at great odds to win this game.
That's definitely true, and if you notice, again, the boss was dealing damage to them both, but Saints kept getting in the way. Maybe what Saints should do is start pulling a Maryville, like a playbook out of Maryville, and try doing it. If you notice, as soon as they teamed up on the strong units, that's when they started falling, what they should do. And Red Team has taken the boss, which doesn't surprise me. They're using the boss as to their advantage for the buffs, but also to deal damage. And I don't know what happened there. I looked away for 2 seconds, and it looks like a massive slaughter just happened.
Yeah, Sama falls down there. I'm not too sure what he was thinking. The enemy team is all taking Autocon, and he was well aware of that and just decided to walk in 1v5. I think the Saints might be a little bit mentally broken here. I mean, they might just be playing for the sake of playing. Doesn't seem like there's too much strategy in their play anymore. And, you know, they really have to focus up if they want to get back in this game. I mean, the game is far from over. You still have your base, and as long as that's standing, you have a chance. You get yourself a Rift Herald. Nice little sneaky play. But let's see the replay of what massacre occurred. It was just the Jace in the backline. And he's already on 3 items. He's one-shotting these players as Lig walks up yet again, and he's going to get caught out yet again. We've seen that time and time again. Now 2-8 on this Kalista. Looks like the Saints They keep playing like this game's gonna be over very quickly.
Yeah, and it's very sad. As you pointed, I don't think they're doing much strategy, which is very thing. And Samundo? I don't know how to pronounce the name. I apologize if I butchered it, but as it's going legendary, I forget what that means, but I think that's
That's
meaning
good.
yeah, it's good. I believe that's playing off a kill streak, and it looks like I forget what that boss's name is, but has spawned, and if they're either I think Maryville has a good chance. Either they can back off, go for the boss, go for the buff, or they push it. But it looks like they're keeping 2 of the people on them to make sure that St. Clair's cannot get to that boss. Maybe, I'm pretty sure that boss has really good buffs that can turn the tides towards St. Clair's favor.
Absolutely correct there, Dominic Bearnasher. One of the stronger buffs looks like the Saints gonna give up all pressure around the map to go for the Jace, who took the tier 2 already. So a net positive play again for Maryville. The Saints sent all their members for a single kill, which doesn't even count as a kill. That huge bounty won't be going in their pockets. I mean, Maryville have full control of this game. They can force the Baron practically whenever they want. They can wait until the soul point spawns. I apologize, and they're going to be able to pick either one, and Saints won't be able to answer us now. It looks like Maryville has had enough. They're going to look to push up this mid lane. Saints look like they want to start a fight somewhere in the jungle. Lig pushed up again, gonna get caught out again. Amumu gets the starting kill. They get the stun on the Rel. Maddie on low HP to that misfortune. As Saints getting pushed back. The Leona stun is able to land. Maddie trying to get stunned up, doesn't get stunned up. Amumu misses, but in the backline goes the Leona. Finds a lot of damage. Jace might get taken down by Sama here, but Sama just does not have the damage. The pockets are too big for Maryville, with their huge gold lead. They're going to blow the Saints up in this game 1, and they might look to end the game right here. A lot of minions, a huge wave left. It's only Maddie and Miracle here to defend the towers. Can get taken down very quickly. Maddie gonna go down in just a second. Puts down the Rift Herald. It's nice tech there, but it's a complete wipe for Maryville. As St. Clair gonna be going down. Maryville take the first game and lead the series 1-0.
Oh, this is not looking like a very good beginning, and it's very sad. And as you can see, some of them look tired, but they look like they'll be having a bit of fun too, which is also very beneficial when you're playing as a team. Because if you're not having fun, I don't think you're playing the game right. It's always about playing strategic, but it's also about having fun. And as you can see, some of them look visibly a little bit frustrated that happened, but I believe if they take a Jace next round, they ban him unless you can't use him anymore.
Can't use him.
Yeah. So, but what I think it is, because Lake didn't seem to know what he was doing with Victor. What I think Saint has done now is they did exactly what I said. They pick characters they're not familiar with, and they could be saving their stronger characters for this next match to come back, because it seems they seem to be coming back for a stronger match for the next one, which will be really interesting to think about, especially to see how they play the game. Because a lot of them didn't seem to know what they were doing with those characters. But Maryville seems to have a huge familiarity with those, so I think Maryville has practiced with a lot of the characters. And I'm hearing we're having some good replays coming up, which should be exciting to see, especially with a lot of good team fights going on and a lot of action happening, which I don't really see much. A lot of them usually think. And at the end, from Misfortune hitting that ultimate from behind the wall because they knew Saints would push, was a very smart option with Misfortune.
Absolutely, that was well done by them. As you said, we're gonna get some team stats. We're gonna see how the Saints were able to do in that game 1. But before we do that, we're gonna throw it to a very short break, and we'll be right back.
I have no choice.
Welcome back, everybody. We are just about to get into draft for Game 2. Dominic, after Game 1, how are you feeling if you're a fan of the Saints?
I'm feeling very disappointed, sadly. It's kind of sad to see that they're not living up to the potential I feel like they could live up to because I've seen the other collegiate teams. They know what they're doing. I feel like if St. Clair's can pick it up and win the next game, go to game 3, it might be good. But after seeing how Maryville played, I don't know if they can do it. My prediction might be right. It might just be a 2-0 clean swipe, and they might be going 1-2 in the series, which could be very devastating. Maybe Maryville is just too high up in the league for them.
Yeah, Maryville definitely one of the top, very, very top teams in all of Collegiate League of Legends. But definitely a bit of a poor showing there in Game 1 for the Saints. I have to agree with you. They were doing relatively well in the early game, but then towards the mid and late game, it felt like someone was just getting caught out every single fight, and they fought most of their fights at a disadvantage, which just let Maryville run a ride over them. And we're gonna see the same bans again. Darius, Ambessa, Nunu, Saints. Let's see what they decide to ban next. I mean, what do you think about the fact that both teams haven't changed anything up on the ban side from game one?
That is very sad to think because after seeing how Maryville played, they should really target those stronger units that Maryville will probably use, especially after all the studying. And hey, look, there is one switch up from the last one. I noticed that thing. I'm what was her name?
Poppy.
Poppy. Okay, I was unsure. I'm pretty sure, and it looks like we're going into it, but it looks like MU. I'm just gonna say MU to make it easy on myself, but is going to be playing Elise maybe, and Elise is a very strong DPS unit. If I'm pretty sure, I'm gonna say DPS because damage a lot easier to do for me, and it looks like SSC is going Pantheon. That's how you pronounce it. Yeah, Pantheon, and which is very good. He's also very good. Varus, which is another solid pick for this game.
Yeah, it's something Saints love to pick, and they expect the Ezreal to get picked into the Varus. I saw this in their pre-draft um, drafts, and Swain was something that they were thinking of banning out. They banned it last game. This game, they leave it open, St. Clair. So they decided to ban the Poppy instead. Swain's left open. Maryville instantly pick it up, and then the thing they were talking about was picking up Silas in the mid lane. He can take that Swain ult. He can become a monster. And I like the draft so far from the Saints. I think they have good picks into the opponents. The bans now are going to be Wukong, Jarvan, Saints banning out some junglers. Maryville doing the same. They banning out the Olaf, the Skarner. And the Saints, they do have a flex pick. This Pantheon can go either jungle or top, but it looks like it is going to be going into the top lane, I believe. Could be the support Pantheon as well, which would definitely not surprise me. Probably its best role from the champions the Saints have selected as Sejuani, most likely going to be their jungler. Maryville going to pick up Warwick and Rek'Sai. These are very, very unconventional picks here from Maryville. And Saints going to answer with a Jax in the top lane. I mean, this is going to be a big story here. Warwick and Rek'Sai, just two champs you do not see ever. And the fact they're paired up on this A team, Maryville definitely have something spicy cooked up. I like this draft from them, but it's definitely going to be hard to execute.
That's definitely true, and it looks like Maryville is going more on the attack side this time. I think they're looking to end this quick, from the looks of it. And Warwick, I've known a lot, especially off the knowledge I've learned from him, which is very good. My first introduction to the character was through Arcane, ironically, but no, he's a very solid unit in the lower rankings. Lower rankings, he's very good for starters to pick out, learn. His combos are easy, which is very good, especially since the combos can deal a lot of damage. I don't see him in high ranks, so it should be interesting to see. But like, it's really interesting to think about, especially with the pairs. So yeah, like I said, I think Maryville is just looking to end this by dealing all the damage. We already saw how they did well with tanks and supports, and they instantly just absolutely mopped the floor. We could be seeing a repeat of last round, which could be very devastating to Saints' morale.
Yeah, absolutely. Saints definitely going to look to put up a bit more of a fight. I'm not sure how well Sama knows to play Jax to Warwick. It's definitely a pick that he has prepared, and Jax theoretically should be pretty good into Warwick and dodge his auto attacks, which is Warwick's main source of damage. So, I mean, Saints have the comp to deal with for Maryville, but Maryville, they have so much sustain this game. They have the Swain, who's going to ult and get a lot of HP. They have the Warwick, who's just going to be a tank. The Rek'Sai, who's going to be a tank. And not a lot of damage on this composition for Maryville. They don't have much burst other than Elise. They don't really have too much burst. So it's going to be a very hard composition, I feel like, to play for Maryville. The only way they can win is if the Saints give them opportunities to get picked off. If the Saints play their macro game well, they don't allow Maryville to just find picks left and right in the 5v5 team fights, St. Clair is going to be a lot stronger in this game, but it's going to be very important for the Saints to keep their carries alive.
Yeah, but I noticed in the last round, now that you point this out, Maryville also found an opportunity even with the open things. They seem to be playing more 4v5s every time. As soon as everyone got their pickups, then they swap it. Next person getting the pickups, and because Saints are just focusing on attacking, and even with them picking the less damaging units, they still provide it on. And it looks like we're about to lead into the next round, which should be really interesting. It looks like Maryville is on Team Blue, while Saints is now on Team Red. So it seems there's been a side swap, which is very interesting. And I'm liking some of the skins we're seeing on them, especially. I was wishing to see some Warwick to maybe have his arcane skin, but would have been great. And it looks like they're instantly going into their positions, which should be good. And Warwick staying to the bushes and getting ready to attack, because I'm pretty sure he's a surprise attacker with his tank.
And from, yeah, you're right. And from the look of things, it looks like the Warwick is going mid into Silas. Miracle gonna flash onto this Ezreal, but he's just gonna cleanse and try and get out. But Flocon lands the chain, and now this Ezreal is gonna be going down. Saints do burn a couple flashes for it, but it's a nice first blood for Sama. And maybe now they realize that the Swain's going top lane. I believe they would like the Silas to match him, not the Jax, and have the Jax go up against the Warwick. Let's see if Saints can figure that out and swap up their laners as well. It doesn't look like that's going to be the case just yet, but maybe it is. They're going to all link up in that jungle, make sure nothing scary is happening. And yeah, Flocon's going to go mid into the Warwick. From the look of things, Jax might be going top. No, they're going to swap up, it looks like. Jax will be going mid and Silas top. So a good read from the Saints, and they get their favorite matchups.
That's definitely true. And Lidge just popping out from the corner, which is, and it looks like we got another fight going down in the middle, I believe. It's looking like a 1v1 combat, which is also going really well. So we got two separate fights going on simultaneously, which should be fun. I wish I could see more of that mid fight, but honestly, this is looking great. And oh look, we got a quick peek at it. It looks like they're fighting on equal terms, which is really good. And oh, Zumando got stunned, and Sama is taking full advantage of it, which should be great to see. That Warwick is playing the tank class very smart with him, which is very good. But it's looking like, oh no, Maryville's gotten opportunities. That's not good. I'm seeing they're doing exactly what I pointed out. As you can see, they're trying to play it one by one, so each player, only one player picks it up, and they're taking full advantage of it. And it seems like they switched up their rotation. They have more two guys going to the bottom lane compared to the top lane and middle lane like they did last round.
Yeah, it was a good kill there in the ball lane for the Ezreal, as a Miracle did fall down. And in the top lane, Flocon having a bit of a rough time, but is getting a gank from Maddie here. Will the Swain have enough damage to find the Silas? Won't be able to get it there. Nice gank by Maddie. Will give Saints a bit of a leeway in the top lane. Now Saints have to be careful in the ball lane as Rek'Sai is there. Sama did force out the Warwick's barrier here, so could look for a solo kill sometime, but now that the stun's no longer there, Warwick is so good at sustaining, heals so much from these attacks, and Sama's not ready for it. Flashes after the auto attack went through, lucky not to die there. As the level up comes through for the Warwick, he can just Q him and kill him. Lig will die in the ball lane, as I said. The Rek'Sai was looking there, and they just overstep again the ball lane of the Saints. Another pick there for Maryville.
That's definitely true, and it looks like Maryville is playing it more slow pace this time compared to the last round. A lot of low pace, and I think Saints and oh, Sama, oh, a gank. I think Saints have figured out they need to gank the people. They need to gang up on the stronger
Oh,
units and oh
oh, he leveled
oh
up.
that's not good. That's not looking good. It's now equal terms, which could cost Maryville. But we have some good fights going on, which I do like. There's a lot more combat going on. Lig is going on to try to take on 2-at-1s, which that really cost him last round. And oh no, he's got backup. I think Lig has figured out he can't take them on his own.
Yeah, definitely not something you want to do as an ADC. You kind of want to be the president, get protected. As Flocon gonna find the solo kill onto this Swain, but I believe he's getting ganked by the Warwick mid lane as he's gonna rotate up to the top. Sama, will he look to answer here? He has the teleport if needed. The wave is gonna be crashing into the tower. Flocon doesn't have teleport. I'd be very surprised actually if Sama doesn't teleport up to this top tower. I don't think the Saints want to let that huge wave go. There it is. Pushes out mid. TP's to the top lane. Gonna collect all those minions. Sama only on 16 CS here. Having a bit of a rough game last hitting, but not the end of the world. Will have a lot of XP after this little play. And Saints solo lanes doing pretty well this game so far. Trying to keep the Saints in it even though they are up a kill. They are down 500 gold.
Which is kind of sad to think about. They need to get that 500 gold back because that's where they started lacking. They started using their gold too quickly, which really cost them because Maryville was saving up their gold, got the best perks possible, and that's when they just started killing. As you can see, Saints have already started gathering the perks, which is really costing them because Maryville is saving it. I think what Saints are doing is they're using the gold to get the perks as fast as possible. And the dragon has spawned. I haven't seen anyone go for the dragon. What I think Maryville needs to do is have two people at least go for that dragon to take care of it, get the buffs for the entire team, and so that Maryville can push it. It looks like we're getting Flocon. Oh, could not flee. He was trying to flee, which wasn't very good, and the Warwick just took absolute advantage. And it looks like another boss has spawned, or is that like a mini boss?
Yeah, Void Grubs have spawned in, and that was a nice solo kill there by the Warwick. You see why Maryville wanted to switch up those lanes, and Saints didn't swap back as fast as Maryville could. Flocon gets surprised by the Warwick damage, which will lead to free grubs here for Maryville. They've played this early game very, very well macro-wise. Going to give themselves a 1k gold lead alongside a 3 grub advantage. As Sama solo kills Swain up in the top lane. The Swain pick has not been working out so far for Maryville. It's kind of their main weak point and something the Saints will keep focusing.
Yeah, but I think what he was doing, he was being the distraction. Saints seemed to target him, and Maryville took absolute advantage of it to get those ones for the buffs, because as you can see, the entire team's got the buffs. That's when they start picking up the pace. As soon as they start getting those buffs, that's when they start rushing. And it looks like Saints have decided to go for the Ocean Drake, which was very smart of them, because that Ocean Drake, again, if I'm correct, it does damage buff, which is really good to do against these tanky characters like Warwick, because his tank is so ridiculously high when he's on the high levels, like for example level 14, he could tank multiple hits for someone like Jace.
Yeah, absolutely correct there. Warwick can become quite the menace, but it looks like he's going Blade of the Ruined King first item, so it's going to be a tank with a lot of DPS here, and that's exactly what they need. Nice ult there by Lig, but he gets stunned up. Miracle gets absolutely annihilated. Wiz is going to be the first one going down. Lig looking to outplay the 1v2, but all he has is a serrated Dirk. I'm surprised the Elise decide to back up there, but Lig, he's going to be playing very aggressive here. One stun from this Elise will be a kill as Warwick picks up the solo kill onto Flocon again. Seems like Flocon just has no idea what to do against the Warwick.
That is very devastating, but that Warwick also was on a killing spree, and it looks like he's doing it specifically on the Elise. I think Maryville knows that Elise is the biggest threat. From what I've seen, from what I'm hearing, Elise is their biggest threat. But I don't know if that was the very smartest pick, because it seems that they are heavily reliant on Elise, and they're sacrificing for the rest of the series with that, which could not be the smartest move for them. We are seeing a thing, but it looks like Maryville has taken the lead in kills by 1 point, and we've seen where this ends. They start getting the lead, and as I was saying, they save up the gold, they start getting these things, and now the Saints are starting to fall behind. They've been weakened, which is not good. And it looks like the Warwick is defending the turn against Sama, which is very, very smart of Warwick. And he looks like he's channeling. They might be going to get their perks and get the upgrades that they need. But I don't know how it's going to end. It looks like they're working together as a team. We might be running into combat soon in the bottom lane, as you see on the map, if you are paying attention to the map. And it looks like one of the bosses will be spawning soon. I can't tell exactly which one is. The purple icon throwing me off. But in about a minute, which could be beneficial. And it looks like the Saints are going in. Sage getting the kill on Miracle, which is very good because Miracle, again, is a very strong player on the team. So Maryville is taking full advantage. And again, like I said, as you can see, now they are in a 2-point leading kills.
Yeah, nice play there by the Israel. The Sejuani gonna go down here. Sama trying to make a play, but the Elise able to get out of danger. A great team fight there for Maryville, and they will be expanding their gold lead to 3,500 gold. And that Warwick having the Blade of the Rune King was just a bit too much to deal with. A beautiful mechanical play there from Ezreal, flashing over the wall, picking up the last hit onto Lig, and just a great team fighting there from Maryville as they start to expand their lead.
That's definitely true, but now I'm starting to think about it. I don't think St. Clair's was expecting to see Maryville go Warwick. Again, like you said, it's better at low ranks, but not many high ranks play him unless you know what you're doing with the character. Which you can compare to many other games with those characters in games like these where you have to play strategic and a lot of those low-ranking players. The Void Grubs have spawned again, which is very good. Maryville might go for it, or it will be the Saints. I'm hoping the Saints go for those Void Grubs, because they really need to get those buffs. And no, Maryville had went to it, and it looks like Shimmer decided to go for it alone, which is kind of surprising. I don't see many go for the bosses alone. We have another fight going on between, it's a 3v2 right now, and the Saints are taking full advantage. But Sage getting that special off to damage them and weak them. And, oh, Sage just in it. And he's on a rampage. He might be able to just take on the entire team and double kill. And also, when you mentioned the Warwick earlier, he got a double shutdown on the Saints, which is very, very scary to think about. I think they've gotten the practice with Warwick. And again, like I said, I don't think the Saints and Zimando again getting the kill.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you there. The Saints definitely were not ready for this Wolverine pick, and it's just a great pick by Maryville. You will almost never see this, but look how well it has worked out for them there. Now, it's probably going to get some teams to put this Wolverine champion on their map. They might start playing him as, the Jax has been doing good when matched up against the Warwick, but the Warwick was just able to feed off of this Silas, pick up kill after kill, as you said, got a couple of shutdowns. Has become very, very fed Warwick now, so definitely a lot for the Saints to deal with, but looks like they're going to win a 2v2 fight here in the top lane. Flocon takes down the Rek'Sai and has the healing on the Silas needed to take out the Swain, who has that ultimate ready, so Saints have to be careful not to overcommit here. Flocon does not have his ultimate ready. Maddie trying to win this 1v1, but I'm not sure if he does. A lot of healing here for the Swain, who's going to flash out. There goes Maddie. They get the sums, they get a kill. A great play from the Saints, but the Warwick is coming with a vengeance. Flocon gets a fleet up, but stays alive, and Warwick gets taken down very low, but look at that healing from the Blade of the Ruined King. I mean, this Warwick's going to be hard to kill.
That's definitely true, and again, it's not surprising that the Warwick came back for vengeance after being taken out the way it was. Looks like Maddie and the Warwick got some beef. There might be some tension between the two. Maybe they were old friends back in like high school. Who knows? It'd be kind of funny to think about though. But and it looks like blue team has gotten the first turn again, but Saints and Zimando again, the Warwick getting the godlike, which does not surprise me. He's gotten a double kill right after getting godlike. Of course, he gets the god.
Yeah, that's a travesty there for the Saints. Miracle Flash Qs, oxygen molecules there, and everybody lives for the side of Maryville University. Down in the ball lane, this Ezreal is so fed, has the Triforce, and every Q hurts so much more. Just going to be taking out this turret with those 6 grubs. I mean, Maryville have put themselves miles ahead of the Saints here, and for the Saints to come back in this game, frankly, they need a miracle to happen many times, and I think the odds of that happening are pretty low.
That's definitely true. And I'm hoping to see Saints make a comeback, like an insane comeback. That'd be amazing to see, but I don't think it's gonna happen. They've sacrificed 2 more points, but it looks like the Saints have learned their ways, and they're starting to save the gold more. They're starting to waste a little bit less on the upgrades. They're not upgrading as quick as you can see with certain characters. But Maryville already from outplaying them with that strategy of saving the gold, waiting it out. Sure, they sacrificed a bit of the kills in the very beginning of the round, but they took absolute advantage of it. And again, a shutdown. Toasty Alex has slain Sama, which is not good because again, Sama is the backbone from what I hear of the Saints.
Yeah, the Swain getting back into game and now solo killing Sama. It's all falling apart for the Saints here. Full dragon control for Maryville. But I don't think this game is going to last past any soul point here. They will pick up this Mountain Drake or could use it for bait. I mean, Maryville are so far ahead. They're going to bait a fight here and Saints going to fall for the bait. There goes Flocon. Miracle will be soon to follow. Maryville University showing off here at this point. A nice route there from Lig, but they're going right back in on this Varus. They're going to be able to pick up that kill. Sejuani going to get stunned up as well. Double kill for the Rex side. They're going to push these turrets with the 6 grubs. I mean, Maryville not giving Saints a single inch of room to breathe.
I am so disappointed because it looks like, oh, they're relatively close to the crystal. Uh-oh, that's not good. Maryville might win in this, which is not good. They need to pick up the pace. They need to. And it looks like we're going instantly to another fight. I think the Saints have now decided to do what Maryville is doing, just rushing. And, oh, Shimmer, of course, backing off, which isn't that bad of a strategy. You're low HP, yeah. And I don't think it's going to pay off. Flocon getting the kill on Shimmer, which is really good. And it looks like another boss has spawned. I believe that is the, I forget what it's called, but I think it's, I like to call it the Earth one. It likes to pop out of the little ground. But no, it's, little bug? I forget what it's called. What do you call it again?
Rift Arrow.
Yeah, Rift Arrow. What you're saying, an objective bounty thing, and Red Team has slain the Mountain Drink, and the Inferno Blazes look to have spawned as well, and are on the field. It looks like the Saints are going for them. Oh wait, no, they retreated. My mistake. But thing, an objective bounty has been claimed. Blue turn is destroyed, which is very good for the Saints. If they can take full advantage of that and get to that point before Maryville can, it's good. And we got a replay going, and it's right in the team fight where they used the bank, where Saij was down. Shimmer slaying Miracle and going straight back into the fight to take care of Lig and then Mary, which really got them. And it was very sad to see Saints take the bait like that. I was hoping they would realize that it was a bait to get them, and they didn't. It was very sad.
Yeah, and in the meantime, the Warwick with the 1,000 gold bounty was taken down by the Saints, but it cost them a lot on the other sides of the map. The top tier 2 now gone, the mid tier 2 gonna go, and now here in the top lane, Saints looking to find another pick. Maryville might be overstepping their boundaries. Harsama finds another kill onto the Swain. A good job from the Saints to find a couple picks here and there, and Maryville overstepping their grounds a little bit, giving Saints a little bit of a hope. You know, Varus is on 2 items. Silas Sunder Sky first item is not something you ever see. I'm surprised he's going for that kind of Silas build, and it's going to be Jax who has that Trinity Force. Sejuani has that Heartsteel, only 42 stacks on it, so still a long way to go from being a tanky boy. But here in the top lane, they're able to spot out this Warwick again, but here comes the TP. How will they decide to play the Sama? Backing off. They're looking on this TP, but the Swain is very tanky. A nice knock up there by Shimmer. Miracle gonna fall down to the Elise as the rest of the backlane gonna fall. Leg falls, Sama falls, Maddie goes down as well. It's only Flocon left alive in the ball lane, and I think this is going to blow their base wide open. They should be able to take at least the top turret and the inhibitor and close in on ending the game soon.
That's so sad. I want the Saints to pick it up, but come on, guys. You're supposed to push this, and you're not. And it's very sad to think about. And it looks like the dude channeling has finally decided to back off. He might be channeling back to the base to get the upgrades, because again, they're ahead by like 9,000 coins. coins, 9,000 gold, which ironically I wish I had nowadays. I could use it. Like, bro, with today's economy, it sucks. Like, getting a bounty this easy, getting gold from just getting kills, like that'd be a dream job for a lot of people. Just getting gold playing video
Hitman.
games. Yeah, Hitman. Go, Hitman. Why not? Go play some Hitman. And it looks like we're getting their replay, and it's just when they came in. It looked like the Saints had it for a second, joining in, teaming up on the one guy, and then all of Maryville just came back in and backed up. And then Warwick, he popped in. He looked like he was on a mission. It looks like the Warwick is on the mission. He might be going for MVP, and in my opinion, person playing Warwick might have gotten my MVP of this game.
Yeah, definitely a very good pick for Maryville here. Has worked out perfectly, and as you say, could definitely be a candidate for that MVP for the side of Maryville here. A very, very strong Warwick, and now Shimmers has spotted Lig, who's walked up a little bit too far. Yet again, there goes the wreck side, and knockups are going to come through. Lig going to be the first to fall again as Sajed gets that kill there, and it's just not looking too hopeful for the Saints there. Getting picked off left and right. It's looking a lot like last game, where in the mid game they just fall apart. Jack's going to be falling down over to that player there. Is Rift Herald going to strike the mid turret? They're going to look to take this one down. Look to take down the middle inhib, top turret, and inhib are soon to fall. As you see, the Rek'Sai going to drift his way into that one. Mid inhibitor going to be falling down. Top inhibitor going to be falling down as the Rift tries to make his way to the ball lane. He's going to be able to make it, actually. Gets the crash. Maryville are just suffocating the Saints in their base, as it's going to be the Warwick finding the Silas in the ball lane. Saints trying to hold on to their base, but they cannot get out of there with ease. This Ezreal is so scary with his poke, and looks like Maryville going to back off for the time being, but they've completely annihilated the Saints base. It looks like there might be one team fight here. Maryville don't really want any part in it, but look at how much damage they do. Shimmer gonna flash it onto the whole team. They take down Sejuani. They take down the Varus. Maryville playing with their wallets here. The Saints try and pull off a team fight, but it's not gonna work out, and the game is going to end. Maryville play a great series and get a much-deserved 2-0. Looks like there's gonna be one final team fight, trying to farm some more kills here. Maryville's looking to do as they find the Silas. They're going to be able to pick up the Pantheon, maybe not. And now looking to end the game, very interesting. Sama will defend the base. Maryville won't end it just yet, but it's practically over. Saints have basically no base left.
That's definitely true. What I think they're trying to do with the kills, maybe they're trying to show off a little bit. Maybe they're trying to be like, hey, we practically beat you guys, but we're going to give you a chance. Come on, try to take us on, see if you can get the base down, which could cost them. Or what they're trying to do is kill them, have them in the respawn time, because I'm pretty sure the more you die, the more time adds up to your respawn. They annihilate the entire team, just hack the crystal. There's nothing they can do. They're in the middle of respawn. Half their team is gone. They're not going to be able to fight, and then Maryville is just going to continue the onslaught. But it looks like during that fight, though, a lot of the team died, which could have cost them, but no. What they could be doing is also gaining the health back, rushing the point, and just going to go take care of the crystals. But I'm hoping Maryville is kind of trying to give Saints a more even chance to spice some things up and see what Saints can do. Trying to test the waters and see what the Saints got and see thing before they end it all.
Yeah, Saints definitely showing a bit of life, but not too much of it. I mean, so much gold here for Maryville, up 9,000 of it, and one more team fight is all they need. They have two inhibs blown open. No Nexus turrets for the Saints. Maryville should go ball lane, take this last lane out, and try and look for a team fight. Looks like they won't be going just yet, but I'm sure time will tell that Maryville, any fight they want to take right now is a good fight.
That's definitely true, and it looks like my gut feeling was right there. They're just trying to gain health back. They all were low on health after that fight, so I'm thinking what they're doing. It's smart of Saints. As you can see, they're all on the base waiting for them. They know Maryville's going to push it and try to get that crystal, so a massive team fight you already know is imminent. And it looks like it's about to begin. I'm hoping to see some good action. Very smart. A stun going on. Yep, as I said, that's a team fight coming in. It looks like thing. Shimmer, of course, slaying Falcon. Siege has slain Miracle. Maryville is just too powerful. And oh no, my mistake. There's still two things standing. They might have been just waiting to take out the turret in the inhibitor, which isn't bad. I feel like and no, they're attacking the crystal. Maryville with 2 votes. It's an ace.
Yeah, great job there by Maryville. A big team fight to end off the game, and just a great job from Maryville, a crushing defeat for the Saints as they move to 1-2 on the season. Maryville now going to be 3-0, and it was a valiant effort by the Saints, but I don't think it was their best. Maybe not their day today. Just did not look like their authentic selves. Team fighting wasn't too good. Getting picked off a lot where they shouldn't be getting picked off. I just think they didn't play their best game today.
That's definitely true. And I actually got word from back. We're about to see some team stats, which is very interesting. I'm hoping to look into the eyes of what the stats say. I believe we're about to look at the Saints one. But if we see Maryville, it'd be really interesting to see. But I'm interested to see the stats and compare them to the previous stats of the last time they played, because they definitely worked them themselves when they won the last game, which was very devastating. They had a very strong beginning in the second round, as you could saw. They were really well, and I feel like they ran out of steam. They're running out. They were out. As you can see, they're a bit tired, and it looks like I believe that's the coach standing there.
Assistant coach Ricky
Yes,
LaFleur, yep.
yeah, the assistant's coach is giving tips and pointing out what went wrong and maybe trying to improve. He seems to be, as it looks, he's giving some advice to him. He might be the new guy of the team, maybe.
No, he's a
Okay.
seasoned veteran. Ricky LaFleur also plays the
Okay.
top lane for the Saints. I think he's getting back into action relatively soon. We haven't seen him on the Rift much this season, but yeah, you saw there. They're going about the game, probably talking about what went wrong. A lot went wrong, so there's a lot to talk about. But they're probably just briefly looking over some team fights, how they could have played it better. Overall, what do you think of today's matchup?
Um, it was kind of a landslide to think about. It was very sad to see. I was hoping to see the Saints make a win against Maryville. Maybe be the underdogs and defeat the high ups before they made it to the finals, if they make it to the finals, and win ultimately. But I don't think that's gonna happen with this match. I think the morale has been just like they were out of it, as and then they weren't 100% for the looks of it, and it's very sad to see. Again, I wish we got to a game three, but it looks like we won't. And Maryville again is still undefeated.
Yeah, and looking forward, the Saints have to keep their heads up. Even after a poor performance, they have a lot of season left to go. They are still one of the top teams in all of Collegiate League of Legends. So as long as they keep their heads high, they'll win week in and week out. And I'm sure their coach Alonso will probably tell them the same thing. But yeah, definitely a lot to work on. They have a lot of time to work on it. Obviously, their chemistry is really good, but I feel like their positioning in some of these mid and late game, just not even skirmishes. There shouldn't even be skirmishes, but there just are for no reason. Shouldn't happen. I feel like Alonso needs to really dive into that and make sure that that doesn't happen too often. And here are the stats for the game two, I believe. You could see the Warwick and the Ezreal caused so much damage. 17 assists on the Elise from Maryville. Great stats for them. Saints. Sama had a pretty good game in the top lane, but the rest of the team had a bit of a rough one. Lig 3-8, Miracle 3-8, Flocon 4-10 on the Silas. I mean, the draft here from Maryville and that crucial lane swap early in the game was definitely a big reason for the scoreline.
That's definitely true. And as I was saying, I think the Warwick honestly deserves the MVP. When it comes to the kills, he definitely was it. What was the game changer? He's definitely MVP on kills, because as you can see, he's on top of the board. He has the most amount of kills. But when it comes to assists, if I could make two separate MVPs, the MVP for assists got to go to Baron, because again, he was in there, he was providing the assists, especially for the Warwicks. If you notice, Baron was running in, dealing the damage. It's definitely true with it that there's a lot more deaths on the Saints side. But even with a lot of deaths, they put up some decent fighting. But Baron, again, was there, providing the assists, damaging them, weakening them for the rest of the team. So what I think the next team that's going to fight Maryville need to do, watch this game specifically. Study very closely to see what Maryville did and try to find a counter. Just like Saints do with their next match. Try to watch the next game on their next opponent and counter, which I'm hoping to see next time, that the Saints are more prepared. They might have been a bit underprepared. Maybe some of them not at 100% health, weren't in the right mindset. They're like, oh, it's the end of the day. Let's try to wrap this up quickly. And I don't know if that's the greatest mindset to have. They definitely need to be like, all right, we got to get it. So sadly, that's the end of the game, though.
Yeah, that's gonna be doing it. Of all that's all for us today. So let's thank you to our sponsors, Tim Hortons Subway, Alienware, St. Clair SRC, and St. Clair Alumni Association. Thank you to everyone in the back. There's a lot of people back there today, but without them, this stream does not run. So thank you to everyone back there. Thank you, Dominic, for joining me on the cast. To not miss any Saints related content, follow us on all of our social medias across all platforms. We upload about our teams daily. And with all that being said, thank you guys for watching. We're going to be back here tomorrow with some more Saints action, and have yourselves a wonderful night.